Our protagonist, Noah Brown, dies at work, and instead of going to the afterlife, he finds himself in a void dimension. While trying to figure out what is going on, he hears a voice call out to him. The voice tells Noah that he has something they desire. Frantically, our guy demands to know who he is talking to and where he is. The voice proceeds to reveal that Noah is in the astral realm, which is basically the void. The voice also talking to him is the incarnation of the void. The void mentions that Noah found himself in the astral realm because his soul was scattered across the astral rifts. The void then claims that they picked up the pieces and fixed him. Noah is happy to hear this as he thanks the void, but they let him know that his gratitude is not required. They see him as a mere human, and the void reveals that all they need from someone as normal as him is the seal on his soul. Noah has no idea what they mean by a seal, and they proceed to explain that there is a seal within his soul which he bonded with. As an unfortunate result of his death, the void urges our guy to reach into his soul so he can access the astral script. Apparently, the script should be able to tell him everything else that he needs to know. Even though our protagonist has no idea how to reach his soul, he somehow figures it out by inhaling and exhaling just so he can calm down. Fortunately, he is able to reach into his soul, and a status screen appears in front of him telling him that the generation of astral script is now complete. The system welcomes him on board and displays a bunch of information about Noah that he already knows. After he is done with this, Noah starts to wonder how a seal got into his soul in the first place. The void is not happy with the fact that separating Noah's soul from the seal will be pretty difficult. The void then tells our guy that there is one solution to the problem, and this is for him to become their puppet, so he can be given incredible power. They assure him that he's going to be their path to rebirth, and in exchange he is going to receive a new life. Our favorite guy then asks the void what will happen if he refuses the offer. The void lets him know that they are going to take his soul from him and consume it in order for them to get what they want from the seal. Noah realizes that with this, he basically has no choice. However, he wants to check the contract first so he can know what he is getting himself into. He even asks the void if he can get a lawyer, but the void explains to them that contracts cannot be overseen by mortals, but instead it is held by the strength of the holder. When Noah hears this, he realizes that the void is basically a godlike creature which makes his spirit stronger. Noah considers whatever pact between them an unfair deal. Noah confesses that he has no way of trusting the void, and even they agree to this nonetheless. The status screen presents Noah with two choices. He can either accept to make a pact with the incarnation of the void or choose not to before making his choice. Our guy looks back at his life. He tries to ascertain how the pact is going to affect his life. Just as he is about to accept the pact, he suddenly remembers that soul pacts with void entities never, ever turn out well for the first time. Noah shows how bold he is by blatantly refusing the offer while asking the void why they even need his permission in the first place. Since the void is considered to be a god, Noah believes that they should be able to take the seal without asking for his permission. The void hears this and they get mad. Noah is immediately restrained and they let him know that his choice to refuse their offer is not acceptable. He struggles with the dark vines surrounding him, and when the void realizes that he is not willing to give in, they make him another offer. They ask him to be their messiah instead of being a puppet. Apparently, they will be able to harvest the seal from him. When he dies, the system then displays his choices again, asking him to pick yes or no. Noah still doesn't give in to the offer, telling the void to fuck off. The dark vines around Noah get even tighter as the void tries to show him how powerful they are. The dark vines cover Noah's mouth to stop him from talking, and they let him know that his spirit is already breaking under their strength. They want to know why Noah is being stubborn. He doesn't have much time left. They tell him the enticing perks that come with accepting their offer. They try to make him see that he is going to be a god among mortals and they are going to worship him. However, our guy maintains his stance. He tells the void that he has no intention of bowing to the will of a monster. Realizing that Noah cannot be coerced into doing what they want, the void lets him go. The void then asks Noah what his terms of agreement are. Noah then tells the void that he wants his spirit to be the one controlling the pact. He assures the void that he is not going to rise against them. The void asks Noah how his offer tends to benefit them when they could easily remove him from existence. Noah then arrogantly tells them that they can't remove him because they obviously cannot. He knows that they would have if they could. The void hears this and laughs out loud. They admit to what Noah said while commending him for besting them. Finally, Noah makes a pact with the incarnation of the void. The status screen informs Noah that the void has agreed to his pact, and by this they are bound to his soul. Immediately they reach an agreement. A transformation process is initiated. Noah is rendered numb while the void is bound to his soul. Once this is done, the process of rebirth begins. The void tells Noah that they will be waiting to see how he uses his power. After a brief moment of traveling through the dark space, Noah finally arrives on the continent called Arundel. When he opens his eyes, he finds himself in the middle of a ritual circle. He is surrounded by a bunch of cult members who are in charge of the summoning ritual. Noah is confused and he speaks out asking where he is. This shocks the cult members, as they do not expect him to have the ability to speak. They believe that our dumbass MC is a creature of the abyss, and by this he shouldn't possess the ability to speak. After getting over their shock, the cult members start to hail Noah. They consider him a higher being, and by this they tell him that they are humbled by his presence. Just then he looks around to see a girl in chains, lying in front of him. The cult members tell Noah to take the girl's life as an offering. Noah is shocked and visibly horrified when he hears this, as he tries to understand the kind of messed up environment he has managed to find himself in. Noah realizes that information is what he needs, but when he checks the status screen, he sees a quest telling him to run away. There are no abilities or perks for Noah to make use of, and the best advice that the system can give him is to run away from the unfamiliar territory. Noah gets on his feet, still trying to digest why the cult members think that he is some kind of ancient elemental. Trying to look bold, Noah stands strong and asks the cult members where he is, because just some moments ago, he was in the endless void. Fear grips the cultists as they bow in front of Noah, telling him that he is in the realm called Arundel. They reveal that he was summoned because they need something from him in exchange for the life of an awakened. Noah keeps up his acting by scolding the cultists for summoning because they need a favor from him. The group then replies that this is a realm that he can enter at will. After hearing this, Noah goes back to thinking of how to get information. Surprisingly, he is able to access the perk called Identify. This is a perk that gives him the ability to identify things. Using the Identify perk, Noah scans the room. He is able to get some info that the guys in cloaks are called abyssal cultists, while the jacked up guy with a sword is the abyssal executioner. Then moving to the girl in chains. She is the flame warden. Since no one is ever happy to be in chains, Noah assumes that he will get a chance to escape the room if he manages to free the flame warden. However, to do this, he is going to need a distraction. He looks into his inventory and the only thing he finds is a scroll. On the scroll is a letter to Noah welcoming him to Arundel. The only information he is able to extract from this is the conditions surrounding his pact with the incarnation of the void. While he is looking at the scroll, the cult members are staring in admiration that Noah can use teleportation magic with no stress. Noah then finally decides to make his move. He tells the cultists that he is going to grant their plea, but he wants the flame warden alive because he wants her to be his servant. However, this immediately sparks whispers among the cult members. Our guy notices this and demands to know what is wrong. The cultists tell Noah that all pacts throughout history have always involved blood sacrifices, and for Noah to change things seems unprecedented. Noah ignores their concerns and walks over to the flame warden. He quietly tells her that he has no idea where he is or what is happening. He wants the flame warden to play along with his plan. He plans to pretend like he is controlling her by picking her up and then dropping her off again. Once Noah is done explaining his not so brilliant plan to the lady, he makes his move. He speaks loudly, telling the cult members that he has now made the flame warden his vessel and he can command her how he likes. However, this only makes the cultists mad as they wonder what Noah is doing. At this point in time, Noah realizes that he has messed up with his little act. The cultists have already figured out that he is human. The cult leader then orders his men to capture Noah. Noah's quest immediately changes from running away to killing everyone in the room. Our guy wastes no time as he lunges at the executioner. He grabs the executioner, tackling him to the ground, and the key with him falls to the ground. Our guy punches the executioner in the face repeatedly until his face becomes totally disfigured. Once Noah realizes that the executioner is out of action, he grabs the key and throws it to the flame warden so she can free herself. While he is distracted with this, the executioner gets back on his feet, picks up his sword, and dashes toward our guy. Our guy prepares to make his stand against the incoming attack, but suddenly he feels the dark vines holding him back from doing what he wants to. He is left open, giving the executioner the chance to plunge his sword into his chest. Noah's health bar immediately goes from 100 to 23 as he falls to the ground. The executioner is done with him as he prepares to finish him off by impaling him to the ground. Our guy looks at the executioner in horror as he prepares to be sent to the afterlife. Just as he is about to meet his death, something extraordinary happens which saves Noah. The executioner is suddenly engulfed in fire, and his scream echoes in the room as he burns to death. In his weakened state, our guy looks up to see that he was saved by the flame warden. The flame warden has freed herself thanks to the key provided by Noah, and she is now ready to take on the entire cult on her own. The whole room is brimming with intense fire. As the Flame Warden prepares to battle it out with the evil guys, without hesitation the cult members come rushing at the Flame Warden, but the first set of attackers meet a grim ending. At the hands of the Flame Warden, she unleashes a massive wave of fire that takes out everyone in close proximity to her. Realizing how powerful the Flame Warden is, the cult leader stops his members from engaging. He decides that he is going to be the one to fight the Fiery Princess. Meanwhile, our guy is still bleeding out on the floor and his health is drastically reduced. His HP has gone down to 8 and he is on the verge of dying already. Noah manages to grab the executioner's sword and he impales one of the abyssal cultists with it. The system notification pops up after he takes down the cultist. He has successfully completed the quest to kill, and in addition to this, he has also completed a secret objective, which is to free Aurelia Foster, the Flame Warden. The system is supposed to grant him experience points for completing this mission, but since he has no paths yet, the points are withheld. Noah is then asked by the system if he wants to awaken a path. Before he can pick an option, Noah's health bar reduces to 6, and he slowly starts to lose consciousness. Noah cannot believe that he is about to die when he hasn't even used 1 hour in his new life. Just as he is about to finally fade into the dark, he picks the option to awaken a path. The process throws him into the astral space, and after traveling through the empty space, he finds himself in what looks like an arcade. Our guy is shocked but also pleased to see an arcade after years of not seeing one. Looking into the distance, he sees another dude, Dylan, welcoming him to the arcade. Acting like a tough guy, Noah screams at Dylan, asking him who he is and demanding to know where he is. Noah assumes Dylan is one of the Void Gods, who are always messing with him, but Dylan tells him to calm down so he can explain things to him. Dylan introduces himself and confesses that he is from the Void. Dylan is a representative of the Void in the pact Noah made with the Void. Even though Dylan is not interested in existing in Noah's astral space, he has no choice. Since the whole space is his astral space, Noah jumps on one of the arcade machines to have fun. The system congratulates him for picking the premium package and then informs him that he can select up to 3 paths at once. Our dumb MC doesn't fully understand what the astral script is, and Dylan explains that it is part of his soul. Basically, it is the manifestation of magic. Noah's astral space chose the arcade because it is the form his astral script has chosen to take. Noah admits that he spent a lot of time in the arcade when he was a kid. However, he still doesn't know what he is supposed to be doing. In the arcade, Dylan mentions that it is his job to guide people on their awakening, but Noah is a special case. Noah clicks the start button on the arcade machine, and the machine processes his character to integrate his past life experiences into which paths he is going to take. A bunch of paths are displayed from which Noah can easily pick. There is a warrior, martial artist, pugilist, brute, thug, and mage path. Before picking his path, Noah asks Dylan what he needs to know before picking which paths he wants. Dylan mentions that there are 4 attributes, which are power, constitution, agility, and mystic. These are the 4 attributes that govern every aspect of whatever ability Noah has, and in the end, the paths increase these attributes, thus making Noah stronger as he progresses. Dylan also mentions that higher grade paths give higher increases, but they lock away future potential. To get a proper insight into what the paths mean, Noah checks out the warrior path. If he chooses to be a warrior, our guy will get the gift for fighting, and that gift will also be what forms his path. To get this path, there is one requirement, and that is Noah winning a fight. To make it more interesting, he will be rewarded with 1 free attribute per level. After checking the perks on the warrior path, Noah also checks the others. However, he notices that the paths are all similar to the warrior path. Dylan then tells him that there are other options on the other machines that he can check out. Our guy wastes no time jumping on the offer because everything being displayed in front of him is basic and boring. Dylan takes him to the healing-based machine, and the options presented. Noah checks out the options, which are cleric, healer, potion brewer, and first aid medic. Noah remembers that he almost died before coming to the astral space. He then asks Dylan if he is going to be healed after he selects a path. Dylan tells him that it doesn't work that way. He lets him know that he is supposed to be dead, but time has been slowed down for his awakening. Once he returns to his body, he will have only a few minutes to try and survive. Just then Noah's eyes catch a particular path, the Exsanguinator. Noah checks out the perks associated with the Exsanguinator. Apparently this path allows the user to draw blood from the astral realms, channeling it. He can also draw blood from the creatures he defeats and to heal or harm as he pleases. For the requirements, he will have to have a basic understanding of how blood works, and also ingest mana-rich blood. The reward for this is 1 constitution and 2 free attributes per level. It is basically a perfectly balanced path since it offers a healing and affliction-based path. Dylan urges him to pick the path, and without thinking twice, Noah goes ahead to do so. After this, Noah checks out the next path, which is the Void's Herald. As a herald of the void the user gets, to bestow unending darkness into the material world. The requirement for this is to have a pact with the void, and our guy already fulfills the requirement. The rewards for this are 10 attributes per level. But they cannot be assigned by the wielder. Noah outright refuses to take this, telling Dylan that he is better off taking paths that also give him a tactical advantage in combat. Noah's eyes then catch another path. That looks very interesting. This is the Astral Walker path, and it is considered to be an epic path. By floating through the interdimensional void, the user absorbs the realms of the astral and finds themselves connecting with the realms beyond. As for the requirement, the user needs to have absorbed a part of the interdimensional astral rift for the rewards. The user gets 1 agility, 2 mystic, and 2 free attributes per level. Looking further, Noah also notices the Void Hunter path. This is a path where the user has a lingering hunger within them and the instincts of a hunter. The user can then channel the void to hunt anything that may cross their path. The requirement for this is to have a natural instinct for hunting and also have a high void affinity. The rewards are 1 mystic, 2 power, and 2 free attributes per level. After a careful look, he decides to pick the paths of the Sanguinator, Astrowalker, and Void Hunter. After finalizing his picks, Noah goes through something he didn't expect, and something Dylan didn't tell him. The void's aura engulfs his body, causing him agonizing pain. Apparently, the process of first awakening is always painful. After surviving some minutes of pain, Noah finally awakens to 3 paths that he chose. With the Exsanguinator, he unlocked the Blood Drain ability. With the Astrowalker path, he unlocked the ability called Blink, and for the Void Hunter path, he unlocked the ability called Obliterate. The system then notifies Noah that his rank has been increased to F. His paths and abilities also gained increments on the side. After this, Noah returns to his dying body. He immediately activates the Blood Drain ability, which partially restores his health. Meanwhile, the cult leader, Victril, is still having an intense battle with Aurelia. Aurelia might be powerful, but she is struggling against the cult leader, who seems to be on another level. Noah then gets another quest from the system. He is given a task to eliminate Victril, while also warning that the quest will be difficult. However, if completed, he will be rewarded with a rare great ability tome. The system teases him with an optional objective, not to die during the mission. While Aurelia is battling her heart out with Victril, our favorite Mick is lying on the ground, slowly repairing himself at the same time. He looks through his abilities and skills to see how he can help. He ponders what he should do with his attributes. He feels like dumping everything into 1 attribute, or distributing them evenly. He finally activates the maximum mana increase ability. Aurelia leaps at Victril with a powerful punch, but Victril relies on his dark aura to throw the Flame Warden back like she is nothing. Aurelia then resorts to another strategy. She smashes the ground and starts throwing the rubble at Victril. Accompanying the rubble is a fire attack thrown by Aurelia. Victril is left trembling, seeing a bunch of rocks flying at him, giving him no chance to think. He realizes that he has no escape route, and he resorts to a desperate move to protect himself. He surrounds himself with his dark aura to block out the rocks and fire attacks that Aurelia launched at him. When Noah finally gets a bit of his strength back, he grabs the Executioner's sword and puts it into his inventory, hoping that it will come in handy. Just then he sees Aurelia flying past him, after receiving a devastating hit from Victril. Noah's gripped with fear when he sees this. Realizing that he might die in this situation, he tries using diplomatic means. He tells Victril that he is actually an emissary of the Incarnation Void, sent to deliver a message. However, Victril doesn't believe this. Noah then reaches into his inventory to bring out his welcome letter. Noah opens the letter so that Victril can see for himself. After reading the letter, Victril calms down a bit, talking about how it is a great honor for him to hear from the incarnation of the void itself. Just then Victril suddenly turns things around, calling Noah a shitty liar. Noah senses the imminent danger, and he immediately activates the blink ability to move away from Victril's line of sight. He then reaches into his inventory and pulls out the Executioner's sword. Before Victril can launch an attack, Noah throws the sword at him. Victril fails to block the sword, and it pierces the side of his body. Victril coughs up blood, with fear written all over his face. Just as he struggles to pull out the sword, Noah calls on Aurelia without wasting a second. Aurelia leaps toward Victril and delivers a fiery punch to his body. Aurelia's punch is so powerful that it sends Victril flying into the distance. Victril screams in pain as he coughs out red liquid from his mouth. Even though Victril already seems weak, Aurelia doesn't hold back. She still goes after Victril as she delivers a barrage of blows to his body and head. The punches from Aurelia come in quick succession that Victril doesn't even have what it takes to withstand them or even dodge them. Still in the air, Aurelia ends her combo with a powerful and fiery kick perfectly delivered to Victril's body. These repetitive attacks from Aurelia are enough to finally take Victril out of commission. The system notifies Noah that he has helped defeat the cultist chief, who is a level 63 magic user. Due to his involvement in taking down the cultist chief, Noah's level increases too. His Exsanguinator path upgrades to level 6, his Astro Walker path upgrades to level 4, and his Void Hunter path upgrades to level 4. His power also increased to 11 points, his agility increased to 9 points, his constitution increased to 11 points, and his mystic increased to 13 points. In addition to this, he is given 14 free attribute points as promised. He is also granted the Tome of Infliction for defeating Vitriol. The system then tells Noah that he has partially absorbed the cultist chief's flesh. While the system is counting out everything that Noah has been rewarded with, he is just happy that it is all over. He falls to the ground in relief, but before he even gets the time to relax, Aurelia walks up to him, telling him that he has a lot of explaining to do. Aurelia wants to know who he is and why he was summoned by a summoning circle. Noah doesn't take Aurelia seriously, and he simply lets her know that she is welcome. Aurelia mentions the fact that she is thankful that Noah saved her, but she is wary of him because she has been betrayed multiple times and she cannot relax until she gets an answer from her guide. Ariel even mentions the fact that Noah can be a shapeshifter. For all she knows, she bluntly asked Noah if he is human, to which he says yes, which is supposed to be obvious from the start. She then asks him if he is from the same world as her. Noah is conflicted with this question as he doesn't know if he should tell Ariel the truth. He is worried that they might be hostile to whatever is not from their world. After giving it some thought, our guy confesses that he is not from this world, risking a fiery punch to the face from Aurelia. Aurelia then asks him if he is with the cultists, and our guy says no. She further asks if he is with the Iron Fist group, but his answer remains the same. Noah finally replies to Aurelia, letting her know that he doesn't even know any of the groups that she has mentioned. Aurelia realizes that our guy is actually innocent, and she apologizes for being hostile. She then thanks him for his help, even though he did little during the fight. Aurelia reveals that she is on edge because she was betrayed by adventurer friends and she didn't want a repeat of it. After this, our guy then tells Aurelia that his quest had the Don't Die objective as a side quest. He lets her know that this is his reason for not rushing into the fight, so he doesn't die. However, this only confuses Aurelia as she wonders what our guy is yapping about. Realizing that he has lost Ariel in his talks, he tells her that his astral script is like that of an RPG. Even with this, Ariel is still confused, as she has never seen or heard of role-playing games in the past. To avoid further confusion, Noah tells her to forget about trying to understand it. He then reveals that he is new to this world, explaining that he died at his work before getting reborn and sent to this hellhole. This only agitates Aurelia since she knows that resurrections do not happen without the intervention of a god. She is also worried that no one knows her name. In his defense, he tells Aurelia that he only knew her name through his quest, and he adds that everything happening is still new to him. Aurelia finally admits that our guy is not lying about everything she has heard from him. Our guy is confused when Aurelia suddenly sits down, closes her eyes, and crosses her legs. He is forced to ask her what she is doing. Aurelia replies that she is meditating, but our favorite MC believes that escaping the shithole should be their priority. With every word that comes out of the mouth of Noah, Aurelia confirms the fact that he is not from their world. Ariel then explains that in their world, meditation is a way to replenish one's aura. She adds that Noah has an aura too, and by the look of it, he is low on aura. This confuses Noah as he doesn't see traces of aura anywhere. Aurelia doesn't blame him since he is new to everything. However, she is surprised by his decision to go with the Exsanguinator path. Noah then asks the Flame Ward if there is no problem with this. She says no, but tells him to be careful in what he gets involved with because the Adventurer Guild doesn't tolerate ritualistic sacrifice or necromancy. Noah wants to know more about the Adventurers Guild, but Aurelia suggests that they meditate instead. Noah finally decides to meditate, and with this the system notifies him of his new skill, which is obviously meditation. While waiting for his mana to fill back up, he decides to check through his stats. He takes a keen look at the skill Obliterate. This skill allows him to channel the energies of the void to annihilate everything that may come in his path. Moments later, the system notifies him that his health is draining, but he doesn't care because of the Exsanguinator skill. Not long after this, Aurelia finishes up with her meditation session, and at the same time Noah is also done. The two then check out Vitriol's body. Aurelia finds a bracelet on his hand and she removes it. She calls it a storage device with space magic. She lets Noah know that it is very big on the inside. She believes that they will be able to extract the contents of the bracelet if they take it to the city. Meanwhile, Noah is thinking if he has the skill to move his inventory to an object and make it something like the bracelet. Aurelia then lets him know that storage devices like the bracelet are bloodbound, which is why it cannot be opened if the user dies. Aurelia looks through Vitriol's body, trying to find his key. She reveals that they will have to take the bracelet to town to try and open it if she fails to find the key. Noah then asks to see the bracelet. Aurelia throws the bracelet to him and he inserts it into his inventory. His inventory is able to detect that the bracelet is a storage device. The system then asks him if he would like to transfer the items from Victrol's storage to his inventory, and without hesitation Noah says yes. Immediately, Noah's inventory starts to withdraw everything inside the bracelet into his inventory. Ariel is still looking for the cellar key when Noah easily brings it out from his inventory. It was in Victrol's storage, but since everything got transferred to Noah's inventory, it gave him easy access to the key. In addition to this, our guy gained things like a healing potion, twin daggers books, a ring, and lots of mana stones. Ariel is shocked when she realizes that our guy can just take things out of storage devices. Our guy makes use of this opportunity to show off his abs while changing into a robe that he found in a storage device. Looking through the stuff in the storage device, he finds the Ring of the Abyssal Eye. He believes that the ring is cursed, but Ariel tells him otherwise. She explains that the only thing the ring does is to provide greater mana capacity. Noah wastes no time putting on the ring so he can make use of its abilities. This upgrades his identifying skill to level 2. With this, he is able to see more information on his target. He checks out Ariel's stats and realizes that she is as strong as the cult chief. While Ariel is burning Victrol's body, Noah is still looking through his inventory like a child. Lucky for him, he finds weapons that he can make use of during combat. Ariel then tells Noah that she is aware that this is his first time killing someone. Noah is shocked and he asks her how she knows. She simply answers that she has been in the game for so long. Not to know when our guy asks her why she is still doing what she does, she reveals that she likes helping people. She is not the type to sit around while people are getting hurt. As the conversation deepens, she asks Noah if he regrets killing the cultists, but he says no. Since the cultists were trying to kill him too, he has no issue taking them out too. Orelai is glad to know the kind of resolve that he has. She reveals that the cultists would have definitely hurt more people if they were left alive. Apparently there are some adventurers working with them, and this is part of the people who sold Orelai to them. Noah then asks the lady if she thinks he's going to be a good adventurer, to which she says yes. She admits that Noah did his best during the fight, even though he is still a low-level magic user. Noah receives the comment well and heaps praise on the video games that gave him knowledge on how to operate if he ever finds himself in a familiar environment. Where our guy asks Orelai how he can activate his tome. She reveals that the only way is through ritual magic. He needs a ritual circle, and he is going to have to use the tome as a conduit. Orelai reveals that she can help draw a ritual circle. However, Noah shocks Orelai, where he uses the abyssal ring to open a magic circle, thus activating the Book of Sight. The system then asks him which path he wants to select for the Book of Sight. Noah picks the Void Hunter path, and with this the book is consumed. This in turn helps unlock the ability Void Hunter's Eye. With the Ring of Abyssal, he is also able to temporarily upgrade the Hunter's Eye to level 3. This binds well with Noah's body, and a purple aura surrounds him. Our guy is impressed by this new development as he compares it to seeing in Fork. With this he can also see Orelai's aura. Our guy is excited about his new abilities and skills, and he proceeds to the next book. This is the Book of Infliction, and he also activates this. This then binds with the Exsanguinator skill, unlocking an ability called Bleed. The system informs Noah that he can inflict the Bleed status effect on his enemies, and it can also be applied to weapons. After some time, Orelai gets tired of staying in one place. She suggests that they start moving, but before they move, she urges our guy to eat an F-grade Mona stone. She tells him not to eat anything above that. Just as expected, Noah's curiosity kicks in, and he asks why he shouldn't eat any Mona stone above the F status. Aurelia reveals that he is going to get Mona poisoning if he does this 2 grades higher than F. Noah will get rapid strength for a while, however he is going to be paralyzed as the mana makes its way through. However, anything higher than that, Orelai assures him that he is going to explode and die on the spot. That is if he is lucky. If not, he is going to die a slow and horrible death. As the mana wrecks him from the inside out, our guy hears all of these and he keeps them to heart. After consuming the mana, the two start exploring the lair. Aurelia is looking for the storage chamber, which usually holds magical artifacts. In addition to this, she is looking for anything that belongs to the person she was originally sent there to find. Our guy is optimistic about some hostages still being alive, but Orelai shatters that assumption as she tells Noah that she was the last person to leave the holding cell. She then urges Noah to be careful because there might be traps, cultists, or even monsters around. The two then proceed further into the lair. They soon find a room that has hidden answers in it. Aurelia demands the storage bracelet from our guy. She puts it on and imbues it with mana to activate it. It lets off a bright light that Orelai points at the wall. With this, she is able to detect the writing on the wall. The writing on the wall depicts the atrocities that the cultists have carried out over the years. This basically tells Noah that human nature doesn't change. Even in other worlds, humans are always chasing power, misguided beliefs, and can be led astray by false pretenses. Orlia is disappointed that the cult members are all adults who chose to participate in the evil acts. Looking around the room, she notices a section in the room that appears to be an illusion. She tells Noah that they are going to have to jump over the illusion to avoid falling into a trap. Before they proceed, Noah tells Aurelia's mind. He lets her know that he is not trying to victimize the cultists. He only cares about those who had no choice and were coerced into doing the evil things they did. Aurelia then mentioned that there is a ritual that can be performed to remove the abyssal influence. Apparently the ritual is a painful process, and some even die in the process. But those who live never remain the same. Noah is shocked to see this, and he considers the process a cruel one. He asks Aurelia what will happen if a child is forced, and Aurelia mentions that children are executed painlessly even though it sounds cruel. Aurelia lets our guy know that this is the way forward. The two manage to avoid the trap, and they proceed further into the lair. Moments later they find a magically sealed door. Aurelia tells our protagonist to stand back so she can break down the door. With a fierce and powerful fiery punch, Aurelia hits the door and breaks it down. Noah is impressed with Aurelia's strength and he commends her. It turns out the door leads to Victor's study. Aurelia looks through the books in the study but doesn't find anything important. Our guy tells Aurelia that there is the possibility that Vitrola was keeping their loot somewhere else. Noah then looks through the room in search of clues. On the shelf, he finds a skill book of Advanced Abyssal Call. The system asks him if he wants to absorb the book, but he refuses, telling the system that he needs to find the secret area first. Using the hovering skill, Noah lifts off the ground, and behind one of the books is a hidden compartment. There is a keyhole to the compartment, and Noah brings out the key they got from Victrola. He inserts the key into the compartment, and upon unlocking it the entire shelf starts to move. Our guy is glad that his little plan worked, and Aurelia asks him how he pulled it off. Noah reveals that in every story back in his world, the secret chambers are usually like the one he just solved. The shelf opens apart, leading them further into the lair. They see blood trails leading further into the dark lair. The Flame Warden then uses her fire skills to provide lighting for them. The two soon find themselves in what seems to be a holding cell for prisoners. A system notification also pops up for our guide. This system presents him with a new quest. Noah is told that he has strayed from his path, wandering into hidden secrets that were never meant to be uncovered. He's asked if he wants to seek them out or back off. Noah accepts the quest and tells Aurelia what the quest is about. He lets her know that the quest wants them to uncover the mystery hidden in the chamber, but the difficulty level and rewards remain unknown. Aurelia also senses the ominous aura coming from the chamber, and she suggests that it would be better if Noah stays back. She reminds him that he is barely awakened, and F-rankers like him are not even expected to do anything dangerous. Noah then suggests that they both leave for the nearby town so that they can return with more people who can help. However, Aurelia says she cannot. She fears that the team who betrayed her might still be in town, and in addition to this, she mentions that there were others with her. She reveals that all those who were with her were brutally murdered, but they kept her for last because they needed to sacrifice her. Aurelia tells Noah that she needs to find their body to prevent them from rising up as undead. After hearing Ariel's reason for wanting to wander into the deadly chamber, our brave Mick decides that he is going to follow her to protect her. Aurelia laughs at MC for believing that he has the slightest chance against whatever monster that poses a threat to Aurelia. Noah protests that he helped in the fight against Victrola, but she reminds him that it was just one fight so far. However, she admits that Noah is getting the hang of magic faster than normal people. Noah then gives the credit to the video games he played in his past life. They soon get to a section that has two paths. Aurelia suggests that they follow the left path, and as they navigate the rough terrain, she reveals that the path is intentionally built that way as a defensive structure to slow down enemies. In addition to this, the walls are forged with mana, which makes them tough to break. After a rough journey through the narrow path, they finally make it to a giant door. Thankfully, this doesn't require Aurelia breaking it down. They open the door and realize that they are in the real secret study that Victrola uses. Littered on the floor are sheets with magic circles and enchantments. Aurelia checks out one of the books, where she seems to find Victrola's plan. Apparently the old evil geezer was trying to make some kind of chimera from his familiar. The first prototype was a total failure. He was trying to create a powerful creature with impressive regeneration but lacking in intelligence and potential. However, it was a mistake to put so many bodies into one creature. In his journal, Victrola talks about how he still regrets the loss of the second prototype. He wrote that the void affinity was unmatched, and the human host also survived, while retaining most of its intelligence. However, the process was too scarring, and the creature was unstable. This is why he needed a stronger host and finally laid his hands on Orelai. After reading out the journal, the system notifies Noah that the blood behind the wall's quest is complete, but he is not going to be getting any rewards for it. Suddenly they hear someone from outside the study telling them to run. Noah and Orelai run outside to check the person, only to find a decapitated cultist. Aurelia checks the fellow's pulse and realizes that he is gone. Just then they look behind them to see an ugly-looking creature with human faces locked inside a cage. Aurelia recognizes the faces, and she tells Noah that they are the prisoners who were with her. The two heave a sigh of relief when they realize that the creature is not paying attention to them. Just then, one of the faces spots the abyssal ring on Noah's finger. This immediately tells the creature that Victrol, their master, is dead. This enrages the creature, and Aurelia immediately tells Noah to run away. She unleashes a fire attack in an attempt to contain or terminate the creature. The system then notifies Noah of another quest. The quest is called the Familiar's Vengeance. Since Noah has gone ahead to peek behind the curtain and caught a glimpse of the atrocity hidden within, the atrocity has also glimpsed him. The system tells Noah to try and escape the creature, because it will be coming for him since he is the one who terminated its master. The system lets Noah know that the quest is rated very hard, but as for the reward, he is going to get an epic great ability book if he survives even with Ariel's fire attack. The creature makes it out of its cage, setting its sights on Noah, the man who wears its master's ring. Noah screams in fear while telling the Flame Warden that they need to run away from the area. Before our brave Mutt can get out of range, the creature grabs him with its tongue. He tries to use the blink ability, but it doesn't work, leaving him to wonder why his abilities are not responding. The system then tells him that his aura is suppressed, which is why he can't use his abilities. Finally, Orelai intervenes, and she burns off the creature's tongue with her flame magic. Once Noah is free of the creature's grasp, he puts some distance between himself and the creature. Just then, the creature turns its sight to the Flame Warden. Orelai tells Noah that the creature's health regeneration is very high, and in addition to this, fire doesn't seem to be effective. The Flame Warden wonders if there is anything or any weapon that is even capable of killing the creature. The creature lets out a loud shriek. The system tells Noah that what he just heard is a creature's phantom shriek. However, he is able to resist the effects of the shriek. The fight between the Flame Warden and the creature escalates through the room. Orelai throws everything she knows about fire at the creature, decapitating it and believing that it is done for. Aurelia and Noah then ignore the creature while they talk about things. This turns out to be a grave mistake, because the moment the creature gathers its strength, it comes after them while concealing itself in a dangerous spiral. Even with this, Aurelia still manages to push back the creature with her firepower. The voices of the creatures all start to cry in pain, but Orelai doesn't hold back since they're a lost cause already. She unleashes a powerful firestorm on the creature to try and finish it off. When the fire subsides, they expect to see a charred body, but surprisingly the creature is still alive. The voices scream as they languish in pain and hurt. Suddenly the creature lets out a screeching scream. The system immediately notifies Noah that he has heard the creature's phantom wail and he has been partially affected by the scream. Noah learns that he has been hit with a terror debuff and all his attributes have been reduced by 10. His mana regeneration has been reduced by 10, while his health regeneration has been reduced by 25. He crashes to the ground and coughs up blood. The creature tries to get him, but he manages to get out of harm's way using the blink ability. However, Orelai is not as lucky as Noah. She gets caught with the creature's tongue and she is smashed into the wall. The creature hates Orelai for the pain she has caused it since the fight started. Noah tries to help Orelai by using the blink skill to reach the creature. In the process, the skill is upgraded to level 2 while in the air. The creature throws Orelai into the wall, leaving her very weak from above. Noah launches an attack on the creature and he uses the bleed effect, but surprisingly the creature resists. He almost gets hit by the creature's massive tail, but thanks to his blink skill, he gets out of there again. However, the system notifies him that he is now running on low mana. Noah quickly consumes an F-rank mana stone to have his mana regenerate back to 100. The system then informs Noah that he has been afflicted with mana poisoning. Noah doesn't think too much about this as he resumes the attack on the creature. He combines the blink movement with his attacks to deliver several cuts to the creature's body. Even after all the repeated attack, the creature doesn't appear to be weak. Noah backs off a bit with the realization that he has used up too much mana. He then tries to use the blood drain ability on the creature, but the creature resists the ability. This leaves Noah totally confused as to what he is supposed to do. The creature then dashes toward him in rage, but he still has some strength in him to jump off. He tries using the bleed effect on the creature twice, but to his surprise it resists the attack. Things get even worse for Noah as the system notifies him that he is running on low mana. He falls to the ground, and in desperation, he consumes an E-ranked mana stone. His mana then regenerates to 200. The monolith also increased all attributes by 25. His power increased to 41. His constitution increased to 37. His agility increased to 40. And his mystic increased to 40. Because he consumed the Mona stone, he gets hit with Mona poisoning with triple effect. Noah doesn't care about this. As long as he has his mana increased, he leaps into the air and dashes toward the creature with the obliterate skill. This inflicts devastating damage to the creature, but Noah doesn't stop there. He follows the attack with a series of sword cuts to the creature's body. During the battle with the creature, his blink skill and obliterate reach level 3 respectively. Realizing that the creature now looks weak, Noah believes that his next attack should finish it off. Just as he is about to hit the creature with the biggest attack yet, the Manhwa gods decide to play against him. His temporary mana buff ends, and all his attributes immediately return to normal. He is then hit with paralysis and migraine. In addition to this, he is low on mana. Noah is totally frustrated at this point, and he just wonders why the creature won't die. Lying helpless on the ground, the creature easily grabs him with its tongue. Noah doesn't have any power to resist, and even Orlia is out of commission. Noah is then swallowed by the creature, but while inside the creature, he refuses to give up. He hits the creature with the bleed effect and the blood drain effect. Because of the skill, his health is partially regenerated. The terror debuff on him is removed. The paralysis debuff is also removed, and finally, he gets health regeneration by 50 for 5 minutes. From inside the creature's body, Noah is able to inflict the most devastating attack since the start of the battle. The creature has no defense against Noah's attacks. With this, Noah cuts the creature from the inside out, thus defeating it. Noah then pushes himself out of the creature's body. Looking all bloodied, the system notifies him that he has defeated the flesh-grafted horror, which is an uncommon creature. Surprisingly, the creature's level is very high, as it is a level 104 creature. Noah's Exsanguinator also increases to level 11. After the battle, his Astral Walker and Void Hunter both increase to level 9 too. His power increases to 26. His agility skyrockets to 17. His constitution increases to 20. His mystic increases to a whopping 30. And to top it all off, he gets 30 free attribute points. The status screen turns gold as the system notifies Noah that the quest is complete. His rewards have been increased to the legendary grade. The reward for this is the Book of Lifeblood, which is a legendary ranked item. While lying down on the floor with cuts on his body, the system notification pops up that he has absorbed the flesh-grafted horror. Minutes later, Noah manages to get on his feet and he starts to meditate. After he is done meditating, his mana increases to 100. However, his body fails him again and he falls to the ground. He starts to wonder what is wrong with him, and the system informs him that he is suffering from migraine, mono-poisoning, exhaustion, and mono-fatigue. However, his health is slightly above the average level. He cannot move his body due to the pain, and moments later Orlia regains consciousness. Orlia looks at what Noah has done and commends him. She never believed that someone as weak as Noah would save her life twice, but she considers it a miracle that either of them is even alive. Aurelia is upset with herself. She admits that she was exhausted during the fight, but she doesn't appreciate the fact that she was easily taken out by the creature. She then notices that Noah is suffering from mono poisoning, and she suggests that they take care of the poisoning. First, Noah is worried, as he asks her if the poisoning is a big deal, but she assures him that it is not. She explains that mana poisoning can be nasty, but they are rarely lethal. In addition to this, there is always an easy way to fix it. Aurelia then tells him the way to fix it. Aurelia shows him the way by sitting down in her meditating position. She tells him to do the same, but he should expend all of his mana until he is empty. Noah does as instructed, and the system notifies him that he has started draining his mana in a short time. Noah is able to drain his mana down to 0. Once he has no mana again, the system notifies him that his mana poisoning has been removed. He crashes to the ground, and Orlia lets him know that his things will feel strange for a while, but she urges him to let his mana recover naturally. Apparently it is going to take a day or two for Noah's mana regeneration to return to normal. Feeling thirsty, Noah asks for water, and a flame warden hands him a pouch of water. Knowing fully well that he will become an adventurer, Noah realizes the need for him to have lots of abilities. He then grabs the legendary book that he was given. As a reward, he consumes the book, and with it his Exsanguinator skill unlocks the Lifeblood ability. Apparently the Lifeblood allows its wielder to be filled with a strong, vital force. The wielder can store life within their blood, utilizing it to enhance healing greatly for a small period of time. The Lifeblood ability also increases all healing abilities by 10. And when it comes to health regeneration, it increases it by 100. The ability also provides a cool perk that protects the wielder from low-grade poisons. Even Orlia could feel the surge of power as Noah consumed the Lifeblood ability. She talks about how Noah is the only one getting all the cool abilities, which makes it unfair. Noah then claps back by telling Aurelia that her world having magic in the first place should be considered unfair. After consuming what he wants, he puts the book in his inventory. He then wears the abyssal ring again, hoping that it will enhance his identifying skill. He unlocks a new shard but doesn't get all the information on it, and he hopes the ring will help out. Even with the ring, there are still some hidden words that Noah can't figure out. He wonders if there is a seal on it, or if the item itself is broken. Without getting the complete information on the shard, he consumes it. Noah is gripped with fear. When the system notifies him that his genetic code is being modified because of this new development, Noah receives a new quest. He has to find the rest of the shards that he just consumed, even though he doesn't have the complete information on them. The system lets him know that the shards are scattered across Arendelle, and it would be good for him to start searching for them as expected. The difficulty level and reward remain unknown. When he finally completes his new transformation, the system notifies him that the Devourer has applied purity on him. He wonders what needs to be purified in him, but just then, he starts to cough up some really dark liquid. He gets dizzy while the system tells him that he has been purified. The system lets him know that all magical abilities have been enhanced. The afflictions he also suffered from the mana poisoning have also been removed. Noah crashes to the ground while Aurelia is left stunned. She admits that this is the first time she has seen such a high amount of toxin come out of someone, leaving her to wonder just how toxic his past world was. Later on, Noah finds himself in the shower. While washing off his body, he recounts the interesting events that have happened to him in just 20 hours still in the shower. The system notifies him that he has been inflicted with cleanse, which makes him cleaner than ever. His exhaustion has also been removed. When he finally steps out of the shower, he takes a pause to show off his abs and also to a farm. After he settles down, he takes a look at the high increment in his attributes. Just then, the system notifies him that he is now a devourer. As the devourer, the system lets him know that there is a primal hunger that lurks within him. There is also the urge to grow, to fight, and to consume all that bars his path. Apparently he is going to gain increased experience when fighting stronger enemies, but gain decreased experience when fighting weaker foes. His abilities are also enhanced to their maximum potential, while his instincts are sharper. His eyes see further, and his spirit shall always remain unwavering. Due to this, he gets a 5 increase on all attributes. Noah is impressed by all of these, and he decides to check out the growth attribute. This is an attribute that increases strength through magical processes or his own actions. Just then, the ability kicks in, and some of his attributes increase again. Aurelia finally shows up in his room, dressed up in a proper warrior's fit. Aurelia then tells Noah that it is time for them to leave the hellhole, because they have somewhere else they need to be. Noah suggests that they take a shower first. Aurelia tells him that she has already taken a shower while he was out. The two then get to talk about the weather and their favorite seasons of the year. The two steps out of the building, and this is Noah's first time seeing the environment of his new world. He looks into the sky and all around him, staring at the beautiful scenery. He notices that there are 2 suns in the sky. Then he asks the flame warden about it. She lets him know that they have 2 suns, and she considers Noah's world a really weird one for not having 2 suns. Noah argues that this is not considered weird. He then asks her how they measure day and night in their world. Aurelia is confused by the question, and she tells Noah that they know it is night when the sun sets, and it is day when it rises. However, sometimes in the winter, it is still dark after the first dawn. Basically, the day only starts after both suns are out. All these sounds really weird to Noah. The system then notifies him that the map of the new world has been unlocked for him after completing the Run quest. Armik then asks the flame warden if she was able to find the item that she was looking for, and she says yes. Apparently the item is a protective charm given to children to ward off evil spirits, but in a magical way. She found the item in one of the cells. Suddenly the system gives him a quest to return the necklace to the owner. Apparently the owner is living in Leafer village, and the reward for the quest is just experience points. Noah tells Aurelia about the quest and suggests that they proceed to the village, but the flame warden hesitates. Since it is getting dark, she wants them to make camp for the night. She also wants to show Noah some things that he needs to know since this is his first time being an adventurer. Armik bows to the lady, telling her that he will be open to learn from her. With Noah's reaction, Aurelia asks if he is making fun of her, but he lets her know that he wouldn't dare do that. Just then, Noah notices some creatures walking beside them. He asks Aurelia what they are, and she reveals that they are wild armadillos. Apparently they are the best way to traverse the kind of forest they are in. On the other hand, Noah is worried that the creatures might try to eat them, but the flame warden assures him that they are not aggressive. To show him how cool the animals are, the flame warden climbs on top of one of them. Aurelia explains that armadillos are herbivores, and they are also known to help humans as long as you give them food. Even though he is skeptical about the whole thing, Noah tries to climb on top of the creature. Since this is his first time, he misses his grip and he falls to the ground while Orlia laughs at him. Orlia moves on without him, and he quickly gets on the creature with his blink ability. However, there is still one problem. He doesn't know how to get the creature to move so he can follow Aurelia. Just then, Aurelia tells him to hold on tight to the animal. Noah wonders why he has to do this, until he sees the creatures getting themselves into a vertical post to climb the trees. The armadillos run up the trees at high speed, and Noah fears that he is going to fall. Upon reaching the treetop, he loses balance and falls off. He uses the blink skill to grab onto a tree branch, but this also fails him. The tree branch breaks off, and he ends up crashing into another branch. While he is trying to pull himself together, the armadillo walks up to him and licks his body. While all of these are happening, the flame warden is laughing her heart out. Not long after this, Noah gets the hang of it, and he starts having fun while riding on the back of the armadillo. He even admits that this is the most fun he has ever had in his life, while comparing the ride to that of a dragon. Ariel is shocked to hear this. She asks Noah if there are dragons in his world when they had no magic, and he says yes. However, dragons only exist in movies. Noah explains to the flame warden that the closest thing to dragons in his world are the dinosaurs. However, even the dinosaurs existed many millions of years ago, but now they no longer exist because they died off millions of years before humanity came. The flame warden then tells Noah that the dinosaurs' disappearance is not a bad thing, since dragons are considered dangerous in our own world. Apparently, dragons have wiped out entire cities in the past. However, the last attack from a dragon happened centuries ago. This is why many even believe that the dragons are nothing but a myth. They consider it a myth fabricated to hide attacks from elite groups where the strongest awaken. Noah considers this a nice conspiracy theory, but he then asks Aurelia what she thinks about dragons. Aurelia reveals that she has come across some creatures that defy imagination, and by this she believes that dragons are real. She further mentions that there are some creatures that adventurers would not even want to go against. Noah is impressed by Aurelia's take on the matter, and he mentions that he has seen something similar to a terrifying creature, but he can't seem to remember when it happened. Moments later, Ariel tells Noah that they will have to make the rest of the journey on foot because they are running out of forest patches for the armadillos to ride on. Noah then asks her how far Layfur village is, and she tells him that it will take them about 4 hours on foot. However, while they still have the time, Aurelia believes that it will be nice for her to tell Noah about Aaron. Soon afterward, the two arrive at Layfur village with the villagers welcoming them in an exciting fashion. Noah is impressed by this, and he asks Aurelia if this is how she is usually welcomed, but she says no. She mentions that this only happens in small villages like this one, even though this is not regular. Noah still wants to enjoy the moment. Noah smiles as they move between the villagers. When they finally come to a stop, Aurelia gives a stable boy man a course, telling him to add them to the hay he is going to feed the armadillos. Noah then asks Aurelia why she gave the boy 3 courses. She replies that it is a way of making a payment. It is also customary to always give the workers a little extra, and in turn they are going to make life easier for them. Noah believes that this happens in every world. Aurelia then tells Noah to keep details about himself a secret and not say too much to the villagers or anyone who asks. Noah is surprised that Aurelia is asking him to stay cautious, and he asks her if he is going to get into any trouble for being an outworlder. Aurelia explains to him that outworlders are unknown, and this even applies to someone like her who travels a lot. She believes that the villagers will only see him as a talking plant. In short, Aurelia doesn't want to raise eyebrows. They arrive at an inn where the innkeeper asks them how long they plan to stay. Aurelia makes the payment and tells the man they only plan to stay 1 night. She requests 2 beds, and the innkeeper points her to their designated room. Aurelia then gives Noah the room key, telling him to go ahead without her because she has things she needs to do. However, Noah tells Aurelia that he has no interest in resting, yet he wants to hang around downstairs for a while, and probably explore the village later. This is the first time since he arrived in this world that people are not trying to kill him, so he wants to enjoy the moment. The innkeeper hears this and gets confused, proving Aurelia's point. Ariel manages to get them out of the situation by calling Noah crazy for saying nonsense. Ariel then tells him to get the key from the innkeeper, in case he later changes his mind and wants to rest in the room. After saying this, she leaves, and the innkeeper comments on the fact that Ariel is a feisty person. Noah admits that Ariel is feisty, but confesses that this is what he likes about her. The innkeeper then offers Noah some ale, since he is coming from a lost woods, which is a dangerous place. Noah says it is a bit early to drink, but he doesn't mind. Immediately, the innkeeper calls one of the attendants to get Noah a mug of ale. The man then asks him what his name is, while also mentioning the fact that he looks new in the area. Noah introduces himself and admits that he is new to the area. He goes further to tell the man that he just awakened the day before. This shocks the innkeeper, and he asks Noah why he is walking around with an E-rank adventurer. The man wants to believe that Noah is walking around with Orlia because she is a beautiful girl, but Noah says this is not the case. Noah confesses that he was facing a difficult situation, which is why he was forced to awaken. He further explains that he got really lucky, or else he would be dead. He then tells the man that Orlia is just helping him get used to the fact that he just awakened. Noah's story makes the innkeeper remember his youthful days, and he finally introduces himself as Lorien. Noah uses the identifying skill on the guy and realizes that he was once an adventurer too. Lorien mentions that he was an adventurer, but he lost his magic in an accident, and he decided to quit. However, he is glad that he still has limbs in his life. Noah then asks him what monster he faced that made him lose his power. But even Lorien claims he doesn't know. He narrates that he was on a quest in a dungeon up north, and while they were working, something suddenly popped out of the depths. None of the adventurers, including Lorien, saw it coming. He explains that something pearly and translucent crashed through, and they suddenly couldn't move their bodies. 2 of his party members got killed instantly, while another one lost his eyes, and Lorien lost his mana. Lorien then adds that up till the present moment, he had never heard of the creature again. Suddenly the system detects that Noah is getting drunk, and it gets to work cleaning up Noah's system. He complains about this, and Lorien tells him that he can switch off his ability. Noah then turns off the lifeblood ability so he can drink ale and get drunk. Lorien advises Noah to use the ability when he is too drunk so it can help him get sober in no time. In fact, Lorien lets him know that the ability can also cure hangover shortly afterward. Noah gets really drunk, but he quickly puts his ability to work and it cleanses him of the intoxication. Noah then asks Lorien about something he mentioned earlier. Apparently Lorien said some villagers are missing and they have a team out there looking for them. Lorien narrates that people have been disappearing in the woods, and it started about 6 months ago. 2 villagers went in search of the missing people but never came back. Even the adventurers went to check, but couldn't find anything. The people of the villagers mourned, gave up, and stopped going to the forest altogether. Not long after this, the mines collapsed. A rescue team was sent to search for survivors, but they found none. The villagers then sealed the mines too. Apparently some adventurers showed up to check the mine 2 days ago, but with the report Lorien is getting, they are going to seal off the mine completely. Some of the villagers are already protesting because they are going to struggle to survive through winter without money coming from the mines. Lorien then mentions that they usually hear cries from the mines, which suggests that there might be undead in the mines. Lorien fears that the village might need to be evacuated if it comes to this, and no one wants this. After hearing Lorien's story, Noah pays him for the drink and he steps out to stretch his body. As Noah walks through the village, he sees some concerned villagers gathered in the distance. They are complaining about the mines that are about to be closed down. They are worried that there is no way they are going to make it through winter if the mines are closed down. Noah then follows the concerned villagers into a house where they are gathered. The mayor is having a tough time trying to explain why the mines need to be closed. He lets them know that it is better for the mines to be closed rather than lose more villagers or even the guild getting involved in the matter. The mayor assures them that he is as concerned as they are, and this is why he is acting in their best interests so that they can all survive. Noah is patiently hearing the mayor until he spots Orlia among the crowd. He is shocked to see her, and the same can be said for Orlia, who wasn't expecting to see Noah there. Orlia then reveals that she is there to talk to the mayor in private so she can get information on the adventuring team. Ad betrayed her. She has not been able to reach the mayor because he is busy, and on the other hand, Noah also talked to the innkeeper while having a drink with him. Noah then asks Orlia if they should help the mayor, and she tells Noah that helping the mayor is what she is trying to do. However, Noah decides to step in. Noah makes his way out of the crowd and walks to the front to address the people. He tells them to stop arguing with the mayor because it doesn't suit them. Since they are all looking for a way to make the village survive, he suggests that they all find a solution together. One of the villagers, Jerome, is shocked to see Noah acting all class, and he asks him who he is and just where he crawled out from. Noah properly introduces himself, and he reveals that he is a newly awakened adventurer. He then proceeds to add that he is the solution to all of their problem. Noah understands the problem that they have. Since mines are dangerous and they need someone who can enter the mines and come out alive, he wants them to send him in. Jerome then questions him and asks why the village should send in someone who is just awakened just to go and die. Noah then drops the bombshell, telling the villagers that he will not be going in alone, but he will be entering the mines with his partner, Orlia. Orlia is mad that Noah has dragged her into the mess, but she has no choice at this point. She steps out and introduces herself. She reveals that she is an E-rank adventurer, and some days ago she came to the village on a quest. She now believes that her quest is somehow linked to the mines. The mayor then cuts Orlia short, mentioning the fact that he knows her. He remembers her coming into the village with her teen. Aurelia admits this, telling the mayor that she is back in the village to find her teen. Noah then informs the villagers that they will not be doing the task for free. Without hesitation, the mayor tells Noah to name his price as long as they are willing to help. Noah then asks the mayor if the village has an ability tome. He says yes, but he is doubtful if it is going to work for him. The mayor suggests that they head to the Windrest City. Instead, the Windrest City is the closest place with the guild hall, and they tend to have an inflow of adventuring gear too. Orlai tells the mayor that the city is their next destination. However, for the quest at hand, Orlai tells the mayor that a degraded mana stone and 2 horses should suffice. Just then, Jerome reveals that he will be going with Orlai and Noah since he has been working in the mines for almost 40 years. Now he is confident that he knows the ins and outs of the mines. With this, everyone in the room agrees to the deal, and Noah shakes the mayor's hand to make it official. The system then notifies Noah of his new quest, which is called Trouble in the Mines. The quest difficulty is considered to be medium, and for the rewards, he is going to get experience points after completion. Jerome then approaches Noah, asking him where he came from, since he looks too old for someone who has just awakened. Noah replies that he came from a faraway place where there is no magic, and this is why he just awakened. Jerome is shocked to hear this, and he asks Noah if he came from the dead zones. Noah is confused by this, as he doesn't know what dead zones are. Jerome explains that dead zones are places with no mana, which is why magic doesn't happen there. The dead zones are also known to drain the life out of anything living there, which is why the region is considered barren. Noah then replies to Jerome, telling him that his home might not be teeming with life as expected, but it is still not a dead zone. Jerome doesn't concern himself with this, as he lets Noah know that the village will be indebted to him if he can solve their problem. Noah assures Jerome that he is up to the task, and the two shake hands on it. The party plans to meet the next morning and head into the mines. Ariel then walks up to Noah, telling him that her team might be in Windrest City. Since there is a guild there, she wants Noah to register. When they get there, the only thing holding them is the current quest, and they plan to get it done as quickly as they can. However, before they embark on the quest, Aurelia tells Noah that she needs to return the necklace. Noah then offered to follow her, and she didn't refuse. They arrive at a house, and the two knock on the door to get the attention of the occupant. A woman rushes outside expecting to see her missing son Pierce, but instead she sees 2 adventurers. Orlia then hands her the necklace, letting her know that her son is gone. She holds the necklace and starts to sob. In the middle of this, the woman's daughter shows up and urges them to come in. Once they are seated, the young lady lets them know that they are already prepared for the worst, since no one has come back. However, she thanks Aurelia for bringing her brother's necklace. The young lady admits that the situation hurts, but at least they can now move on without the thought that Pierce will come back. The young lady tells Orlia and Noah they don't have money to pay them, but if they talk to the mayor, he should be willing to compensate them for helping out. Noah then tells her that they are not ready to get paid yet. After all, they are continuing the quest by searching the mines. Looking very sad, Aurelia offers her condolences to the woman, their daughter, telling them how bad she feels, that she couldn't do more. Just as the two are about to leave, the woman stops them in tears. She demands that she wants to know what happened. She begs them to tell her anything that they know. Seeing how broken the woman and her daughter are, Orlia decides to tell them the truth. She reveals that her son and other people who were missing were taken by the abyssal cultists. Orlia explains that the cultists have been practicing blood magic. She adds that she and Noah almost died in the hands of the cultists, but fortunately for them they were able to escape. She then tells the woman that after they escaped, they spent some time searching for survivors, but sadly there were none. All she was able to find was the necklace. Distraught, the woman asks them if they killed the cultists. Noah doesn't hesitate as he tells the woman that every cultist in the lair was sent to the afterlife. The woman heaves a sigh of relief when she hears this. She then narrates how Pierce is just a 14-year-old kid who likes hunting monsters in the mines in the woods. The woman was never in support of this, but Pierce was a reckless kid. Knowing the kind of person her son is, she had actually been ready for a day like this. Apparently her husband was an adventurer too. However, when he married her, he left the adventuring life, even though he did the life he had left haunted him. And in the end the woman lost her husband. Pierce took after his father, and even when the woman threatened him or begged him to reconsider, Pierce didn't change his mind. She finally let him do his thing to avoid causing anything that would make him lose himself. The woman then asks Orlia and Noah if they became adventurers for the same reason as her son. Noah then tells the woman the truth. He lets her know that he has no idea why he is an adventurer. He says everything so far has been a desperate attempt to stay alive in a difficult situation in a place he is not familiar with. Noah claims that he could say he is running from his past, but if he is being honest, Being an adventurer also excites him. Noah mentions that the magical powers he has gained are addictive, and because of this, he wants to explore this new world even better. The woman's daughter immediately catches on to Noah's use of words, but he manages to switch things around. He tells them that what he meant is that the place he has found himself feels like an entirely new world. He continues by telling them that he is not from the area, and he also doesn't know how far away his home is. After hearing all of these, the woman then makes a request of them. The woman gives them the necklace, saying, Pierce would have wanted them to have a necklace. Noah collects the necklace from the woman and assures her that he is going to treasure it. In sincerity, the woman thanks Noah and Orlia for their help. The system then notifies Noah that the Lost Remembrance quest is now complete, and he has been awarded experience points. The two finally say their goodbyes to Pierce's family, and they leave. Ariel then suggests that they head to sleep because they need to head out very early in the morning. However, Noah suggests that they get something to eat first, since it is going to be pretty hard to fight monsters on an empty stomach. The next morning, Ariel, Noah and Jerome begin their mission. They soon reach the mine, which is also a dead dungeon, and Noah doesn't even know it's a thing in the first place. He is shocked to find out that dungeons can die, and Jerome explains to him that once the dungeon's core is killed, it dies. However, this is considered a very stupid decision, since a tamed dungeon provides loads of precious resources. Many kingdoms were founded just because they were able to hold down dungeons. Orlia then reveals her suspicions. She believes that it might be an undead dungeon, which is why they quickly killed it before it began to spread. However, Jerome argues this, telling the two that the dungeon was a normal earth dungeon. The entrance of the mine is covered with rubble. Noah wonders if he can cut through the rubble using his obliterate skill. Instead of doing this, the three pick up diggers and dig their way through. Once they finally get access to the mine, Noah notices that there are mana stones embedded in the walls of the mine. Jerome then explains that the entrance to mines is usually barren, but because it has been a while since there has been any operation in the mine, it started to regenerate. Orlia then tells Noah to be careful because there might be monsters lurking around, since the mine used to be a dungeon. Noah acknowledges Orlia's warning. Jerome informs the two that there were always critters around the entrance in the past, but they have all disappeared since the noises started coming. They arrive at the main entrance of the mine, and just as they push the door aside, they are shocked to find bodies scattered everywhere. These are the bodies of miners working in the mine. It is a terrible sight for the three, and Noah rushes deeper into the mine to see if there are survivors. Noah manages to find a survivor whose face looks scared, and his eyes have changed colors. Noah asks him what happened and who hurt them. But instead of answering this, he tells Noah and Orlia to run away. Suddenly the miner starts to transform, and Aurelia screams at Noah to get away from the fellow. The system informs Noah that his quest, Trouble in the Mines, has been completed. The system then gives him a new quest. The quest tells him that he has found the remnants of Victroll research. He is told to destroy everything that concerns Victroll. The system informs Noah that the task will be hard, but his reward will be an epic-grade summoning book. The possessed fellow starts floating in the air, and realizing how scary this situation is, Orlia tells Jerome to back away from the fight. Jerome doesn't argue, and he politely backs off, leaving the two adventurers to deal with the threat. Noah arms himself with his two short swords, ready to take on the possessed fellow. Noah uses his teleportation skill, but realizes that the enemy has the same skill too. Aurelia then unleashes a powerful flame attack at the enemy, but when the dust settles, there is no sign of the enemy. Noah's senses kick in, and he is able to figure out that the enemy is above them. The enemy comes charging at Noah with ridiculous speed. Noah manages to get himself ready by using Blink to move out of harm's way first. He then gets himself in a good position to engage the enemy. Noah can feel the intensity of the battle, and he realizes that he needs to do something special, or else he is going to die in the hands of the possessed fellow. Aurelia finds a boulder that she reinforces with fire and throws at the enemy. This gets the possessed fellow off balance, giving Noah the chance to run at him. Noah pushes his knives into the possessed fellow while also inflicting skill effects on him. The enemy screams out in pain before unleashing a counterstrike. Noah tries getting out of the way, but still gets cut in the chest. The attack from the enemy inflicts necrosis on Noah. However, his ability is able to partially regenerate the affected part. The enemy comes at Noah again, but this time he is able to block the attack using his weapon. Realizing that the enemy has him on the rope, Noah uses teleportation to give himself some breathing space. This is when he notices that things are worse than he thought. His health is drastically declining, and he knows that he has to finish the fight before he can't fight anymore. Noah then brings out a healing potion to get himself back in the game. Once he is all better, he and Aurelia launch a full frontal assault on the enemy. While one is attacking, the other is defending. This way, they are able to stay out of the enemy's crosshairs. Orlia relies on her flame attacks, while Noah uses close-range attacks on the enemy. After battling it out for minutes, they finally get to knock the enemy down, but they still feel something is wrong. Noah is the first to figure out that the enemy is already mutating, and he tells Aurelia that they need to kill it before it fully transforms. At full speed, Noah dashes toward the enemy, while Aurelia calls on him to retreat. However, Noah stubbornly proceeds, aiming to end everything once and for all. Just as he reaches where the enemy blocks off his attack and launches a counterstrike, as if it has been waiting for Noah to make a move. With the unprecedented attack hitting Noah, he loses a limb in the process, and he manages to get out of the enemy's range before losing more than his left hand. Noah looks at his left arm on the floor with fear in his eyes. Because the lifeless ability is not active on the hand, the poison is spreading really fast. Noah is horrified, and he hopes that he gets a way to reattach his arm. After the battle, in the heat of the battle, the system notifies him that his poison resistance skill has upgraded to level 2. Ariel then picks up another boulder, imbues it with fire, and throws it at the mutated enemy. Once Ariel has the enemy backed into a corner, Noah goes after it. Noah hits the enemy with a headbutt, and he activates the obliterate skill. Fighting with just one arm, Noah uses his mouth to hold his sword. He then turns around to bite one of the enemy's tentacles. With this, he inflicts some damage on the enemy. Noah remains on the offensive until Aurelia calls him back, letting him know that she needs space to launch an attack. Noah acknowledges the order, and Aurelia produces a massive fire attack with the aim of burning the enemy out of existence. The attack hits, but when the smoke clears, there is no presence of the enemy. Noah then comes up with a brilliant idea. He tells Aurelia to flood the entire area with fire to prevent the enemy from teleporting, since it can only teleport through shadows. Aurelia does as told and unleashes massive firepower that exposes the enemy's movement. The enemy realizes that it has been exposed, and it makes a desperate move. It grabs Jerome and holds him hostage. Realizing that they are in a bit of a bind, Noah decides to come up with another idea. Noah reaches into his inventory to bring out the letter of the Void God. The mutated fellow already feels the aura coming from the letter, and Noah lets the enemy know that he is also tied to the Void God. With a very scary tone and command, Noah demands that the mutant let Jerome go. Noah is forced to repeat himself 3 times before the mutant finally throws Jerome away to focus his attention on Noah. He runs at Noah, but Noah meets him halfway and plunges his blade into the mutant's neck. Noah then pulls back, giving Aurelia the chance to hit the mutant with another powerful fire attack. Aurelia's latest attack finally knocks the mutant down, and Noah strolls up to him. The mutant begs Noah to kill him, and just as he wanted, Noah ends him. As he closes his eyes in death, the mutant thanks Noah for taking him out of his misery. The system then brings out the notification that Noah has defeated the mutant. He gains loads of stats increase because he took down the mutant. Noah tells Aurelia that the miner was still alive, but he was trapped in his own body by the monster controlling him. The system then asks Noah if he would like to consume the mutant he just defeated, and he says yes. A golden light shines around him as he absorbs the mutant's power into his body. With the absorption of the mutant, Noah gets to see some really tragic and horrifying memories from the rock miner. All the sufferings were caused by one man, and that is Victrol. What Noah sees in the miner's memory makes him really mad, and he swears to kill every last member of the Abyssal cult. Because of his new resolution, he is given a quest by the system to wipe out every last member of the Abyssal cult. The difficulty level is set at impossible, to show how crazy the quest is, and the reward is unspecified. After this, Aurelia picks him up so that they can leave the mine. She assures him that she is going to find him a healer. Noah passes out, and when he wakes up, he finds himself in the astral script with Dylan staring at him. His left hand that got cut off appears like that of a hologram. He looks around the room and realizes that it has a living room kind of set up. Dylan tells him that he is in the astral script that his soul is attached to. Since the astral script takes information from things, he was connected to this room as one of them. Noah is glad to be back in the room after so many years. He wants to consume as much knowledge as he can. Dylan then reveals his shock that the guy is still alive. He is impressed, and he tells Noah that he has surpassed his expectations. Dylan even goes as far as to clap for him. Noah just stares at him with the side eyes because he knows that he is mocking him. Noah can clearly see that Dylan hopes that he dies, but he has been surviving somehow. Dylan admits that he might want Noah dead, but it is all fun and games to him. He is betting on Noah's survival and how much he can take. Dylan moves past the whole part where he wants Noah to die and lets him know that there is something important that they need to discuss. Dylan mentions the quest that Noah forcefully activated, which is the wiping out of the Abyssal cult. Dylan tells him that he just cannot go ahead and exterminate the Abyssal cult. Noah teases Dylan, asking if he thinks he can pull off the quest. Dylan simply replies that there is no way he is going to pull it off. Noah then reminds Dylan that he didn't break the contract by getting the quest. Dylan realizes that Noah is not ready to give up on the quest. He then asks him what it would take for him to give up. Apparently the abyssal cult has its own use too. Even though they are not directly linked to the void, Dylan tells Noah that wiping out the cult is not something that they want. Noah bluntly tells Dylan that he doesn't care. He sees this as his problem and that of the void. Dylan then mentions the fact that every human has a price, and he asks Noah what he really wants to let go of the quest. Dylan explains that mortals will always have their feud, as this is their nature. He further adds that Noah is just one man and he surely cannot change the nature of the world. Noah then uses Dylan's words against him. He tells Dylan that there is no need for him to be scared, since they all believe that he doesn't have what it takes to wipe out the abyssal cult, or even change the world. Noah then gets mad, asking Dylan why they care so much about the abyssal cult, when the void obviously has several other cults to serve them. Noah also chips in the fact that the abyssal cult didn't even care about the void's wishes. They just wanted power for themselves. Dylan then cuts in, telling Noah that the abyssal cults are the perfect example of how humans behave, but Noah argues that not all humans behave this way. The two then argue back and forth, until Dylan asks him again what he wants to actually reconsider. Noah is ready to make his wish, but before he says anything, he demands to know why the abyssal cult is so important. Dylan then breathes in before starting his explanation. Dylan explains that the void lives in the astral realm, but this is not the only place that they live. Apparently pockets of void exist in the physical realm, called the abyss. These pockets of void are what feed the cultist power. The abyss spreads, leaking the void into reality, thus consuming it. This then gives creatures from the astral realm to reach the physical realm. These creatures work to expand the abyss into the physical realm. Noah then asks Dylan if they just hand out powers to people without caring what they do with it. Dylan replies that whatever humans do with the powers given to them is not the void's concern. This gets Noah mad because the void concerns itself with the expansion of the abyss instead. Dylan replies that the nature of the void is to consume. It doesn't care if it is evil or good, as long as it is fed. Dylan says this is the basic truth behind it. Noah gets even madder and he smashes a chair against the wall. Noah then mentions the sufferings that he saw in the children who joined the cult. Dylan reminds Noah that he has already taken his revenge, and this is against a man he has never met since has taken out the cultists. Dylan doesn't understand why Noah still cares. Dylan then asks Noah what he wants so he can reconsider, since he has answered all of his questions. Noah angrily replies that he wants nothing. The only thing he wants is to destroy the abyssal cult. He doesn't care how long it takes him. In fact, he doesn't care if he succeeds or not. He just wants to get his hands on those he can, while also saving those he can. Since the abyssal cult is linked to the void and the void has a pact with him, Noah believes he has the authority to alter whatever connection that the abyssal cult has with the void. He wonders what is going to happen if he changes the contract to make the cultists good people. With this, Noah gets a new quest. He is now on a quest to save the redeemable abyssal cultists. He is on his way to forge a new path. The difficulty level is rated hard, but the reward remains unknown. Realizing that Noah is not changing his mind, Dylan backs off, mentioning the fact that he tried everything he could. Dylan lets Noah know that the path he is taking is a very dangerous one. He adds that Noah is going to bring the wrath of the gods upon himself with his stubbornness. When Noah regains consciousness, he finds himself alone in a room. His left arm is wrapped in bandages as usual. Aurelia enters the room not long after Noah wakes up. Ariel reveals that Noah was out for 2 days, but this is impressive because the healer expected him to be out for at least 1 week. Noah tells Ariel that he feels better aside from his missing arm. Forkman Orlai tells him that this is not a big deal because regrowing an arm is possible with full restoration. However, she lets Noah know that the procedure is expensive because the healer is going to charge a lot. Orlai then points out the fact that Noah has a blood-based path, and the chances of Noah regrowing his arm back with this ability is high. He might just regrow it without the help of a healer. Aurelia also says there is the option of procuring a magical prosthetic arm if the other 2 options don't work out. After hearing all of his options, Noah asks Aurelia if there is a library that he can use. Aurelia says there is, and Noah reveals that he wants to do research on more options. He believes that there will be better options that he can tweak in his favor. Orlai lets him know that he is to use whatever option he finds, as long as it doesn't include the use of nefarious powers. Noah tells Orlai that he cannot promise this since all of his powers look absolutely evil. However, he is willing to do his best. Orlai then tells Noah that she would like to know about his powers. She has always wanted to ask but has been holding back since Noah was the one who saved her. However, she is now interested in asking. With what she has seen so far, she knows that Noah has 3 paths, and they seem fairly powerful. In addition to this, she feels like Noah has experience when it comes to fighting. All of these coupled with the fact that he appeared in the abyssal cult with void abilities. She wanted to doubt him but couldn't because he stayed and fought alongside him. Noah then reveals that he practiced fighting when he was in high school. He learned kickboxing, taekwondo, and the like. He never stuck to one fighting style for long, and he has always been good at it. And about his pads, he didn't really know what to say about them, which is why he kept mute. In addition to the fact that he was in an unfamiliar environment where people wanted him dead. Orlia understands where he is coming from, and because of this she decides to show him something she doesn't show people. This is her way of saying she now trusts Noah, and she wants him to trust her too. She shows Noah a ring and she pulls it off. She tells Noah to inspect it, which he does. He initially doesn't see anything until he tries harder. The identifying skill recognizes the ring as the ring of a second chance. It was made from the frozen tear of an ancient dragon, and the ring heals the bearer if their health reaches under 1. The ring also has the ability to teleport them to a predetermined, safe location in case of emergency. However, it can only be used once. Orlia lets no one know that she intentionally put herself in a dangerous place because she knew she had the ring. Noah is relieved that Orlia is finally telling her this, which shows that she now trusts him. However, Orlia is still worried about one thing. She remembers that in the mines, Noah commanded the void creature. In addition to this, Noah brought out a strange letter. And around the letter is the purest void mana that Aurelia has ever seen. Aurelia wondered if Noah was able to see through her ability somehow so he could deceive her, but Noah assures her that he has been honest from the beginning. Noah is ready to tell her everything, and he urges her to test him. Orlia then hands him a rock, telling him to hold it while he speaks his truth. Orlia asks him the hidden truth about himself. Noah reveals that he doesn't have memories of lots of things. For example, his death. He explains that it is as if some parts of his mind have been cut off. Noah then comes clean, telling Orlia that he can command void creatures due to the fact that he woke up in the void after his death. This is also why he has his path in the letter too. He assures her that he doesn't intend to harm Orlia or the innocent. In addition to this, he reveals that he is not chasing powers that will make him end the world. Noah then explains that the truth behind everything is that he is a lost man in an unfamiliar world. After saying these things, Orlia then asks him to swear while still holding the stone. Without hesitation he swears upon his astral soul. After this the stone glows, and when Aurelia checks it, she is glad that it didn't break or crack. Apparently, the stone would have cracked if Noah had lied. The stone focuses on one's mana and aura. It can detect the slight waver in the aura, which will then cause it to crack. However, it didn't, which is good news. Later that day, Noah leaves his room and heads to the library. He picks out books on prosthetic arms and books on what he needs to know about this new world. The first set of prosthetics that catches his eye are the void parasites that look like slimy worms. They burrow into the spine and take control of the brain before killing their hosts and turning them into mindless monsters. However, they possess the ability to enhance and modify their host body to a remarkable extent. In very rare cases, the fusion with one of these parasites has helped the host become stronger. After reading through this, Noah believes that this is the option that suits him. He then continues to read more into the creatures to avoid missing anything. He soon learns that the summoned parasites feed on the host's life force. Noah is pleased to see this because he has an ability that gives him an abundance of life force, which means the parasites will never have to go hungry. By summoning them with the life command to feed on the host's life force, the parasites have no choice but to obey their summoner. Noah is glad that he meets all the requirements to summon the void creatures that he needs. He figures out that the best way to get his arm back is to summon the parasite. Without wasting time, he picks up the book and leaves the library. Later that day he finds a private place where he can perform the summoning, and Orlia is with him. The first thing he does is to consume the book. That gives him the skill of abyssal call. He then brings out a mana stone, and with it he draws a magic circle on the floor. Once everything is complete, he activates the summoning process, and he consumes the book of abyssal summon too. Meanwhile in the void, the parasites are roaming around with nothing to do when they suddenly hear someone summoning them. They have been dormant for a long time, but the bright light calling them makes them feel alive. Their desire to eat beats everything else, and without hesitation the parasites merged into an entity. As they prepare to acknowledge the summons, the void parasites warn themselves not to harm their master and make sure that they obey everything he says. The parasite emerges from the magic circle and goes directly to where Noah wants it. Noah already has his severed arm in place and he wants the parasite to join it with the rest. The parasite does as instructed, and in no time Noah names the creature Tony. Tony does his thing, but this triggers a reaction in Noah's body. He is hit with a fever, and Aurelia gets worried. She tells him to dismiss the creature, but Noah claims that he is fine. However, things only get worse as Noah falls to the ground screaming. His entire body is burning, but because he has no intention of stopping the process, his pain tolerance keeps increasing. Orlai checks on him and realizes that he is suffering from a severe case of fever. Noah explains that Tony is eating through his life force to heal his arm, and he asks Orlai for health potions. Just then things get even worse, and Noah is now left to fight an internal battle. With his mind he tries not to focus on the pain, and instead he starts to meditate. He is able to put all of his attention into meditation and ignore the pain he is going through. In a short period of time, his pain tolerance increases to level 6 while his meditation level increases to level 5. Once the arm is fully reattached, Noah tells Aurelia that he can't feel anything there. Aurelia then gives him health potions to help him regain his strength. He tells Ariel that the pain vanished at once, but it seems Tony is not even done yet. Noah stops moving the arm, and he focuses on the appearance. The arm now has thicker skin, stronger muscles, claws, and even a poison gland. Noah is thrilled to have Tony as his new arm. Once Tony finishes up, the system notifies Noah. The system lets him know that he now has a symbiotic relationship with Tony. While feeding on Noah's life force, Tony will obey his commands, sharpen his instincts, and increase his strength. Orlai is surprised that everything worked because she was initially doubtful. Noah also lets her know that he had his doubts. This was why he conducted extensive research, to be sure he could remove the parasite, in case things went south. However, now that it worked, Noah's excitement is through the roof. Aurelia suggests that Noah keep the arm hidden because it will only draw attention to him, although it is not unusual for adventurers to pick monster body parts to replace missing limbs if they are compatible. Orlai is blown away by the appearance of Noah's new arm. Noah tells her that it looks very sick. Aurelia believes that Noah is referring to the literal sick, but what he meant is just a figure of speech on how cool the arm is. Aurelia cannot fathom the fact that being sick in Noah's world can mean a good thing. Noah then tells Aurelia that he needs to learn how to control the arm, and Aurelia demands to touch it. She touches it, leaving her blown away. She tells Noah that he has an inbuilt weapon now, which is basically an advantage to him. She then mentions that the arm will grow with Noah since it is connected to his astral script. Noah makes a fist bump in the air while talking about how he wants to test out his new ability. Aurelia then suggests that they step out, since they wouldn't want to break the place. Noah agrees to this, and together they make their way into the woods. Orlai leads Noah to a big tree that he can use as his practice dummy. With excitement written all over his face, Noah powers Tony up and he dashes toward the tree. He makes several cuts to the innocent tree, and after this he adds poison. Everything worked out well, leaving Noah totally electrified. He is like a new kid who just got a new toy and can't wait to show his friends. Aurelia later gives him a knock on the head for naming the creature. Aurelia notices how excited and pumped he is, and she urges him not to get too excited because he needs to learn how to use a clawed hand. Since his fighting style is suited for a fist, Noah admits that there will be an adaptation period for him to get used to things. Noah cannot hide his smile as he stares at Tony like he is his new girlfriend. Orlai considers Noah to be a very weird person because normal people will not get excited about the type of arm that he has. Noah replies that Orlai is wrong because lots of wealthy people from his world would kill to have Tony as their arm. Noah mentions that the arm is awesome to look at. Orlai just concludes that Noah's world in general is weird, and Noah claps back, telling her that her own world is weirder because they have freaking dragons in it. Orlai doesn't think a dragon is weird, but Noah argues that a giant lizard breathing fire is not normal in any aspect. Still trying out the things he can do with his arm, Noah hits a rock with it and then activates the obliterate skill. With this he shatters the boulder like it is nothing. He jumps in the air while saying his arm is now the sickest thing ever. Orlai realizes that Noah doesn't mind staying there all day, and she tells him that people in the village might start to wonder where he is. She suggests that they go back to the village, and he is free to come to the forest anytime he wants, so he can play with his new favorite thing. As they are about to leave, Noah still mentions how cool of an arm he now has. Aurelia is so tired of the dude that she just sighs. She angrily throws a fireball at him, but he dodges thanks to his blink skill. Noah then runs off to the village before Aurelia gets in. Noah then heads to the innkeeper to have a drink with Lorien. Lorien asks him how the new arm is treating him, and Noah excitedly tells the man that he is much better than before. Lorien reveals that he has not seen anything close to Noah's arm in all his years. Noah is also aware of the fact that there are rumors flying around in the village about how he got the arm. Lorien urges Noah not to pay attention to the rumors, but Noah wants the heat. He tells Lorien that he lives for things like this. Earlier that day he ran into a woman and her child, who compared him to a monster. Noah doesn't miss the opportunity to scare the child since they all believe he is a monster. Lorien and Noah laugh after he narrates how he handled the situation. Lorien then asks Noah when he and Orlai plan to leave. Noah reveals that they will leave the village in 2 days, since Aurelia is already charting away for them. Noah continues enjoying his ale, but he can't switch off his ability to get drunk because this is what Tony is feeding on. Noah then asks Lorien for a favor. He gives him a list of items, telling him to help him get them. Lorien sees the list and he is horrified. He is forced to ask Noah if he is planning to raise a demon. Noah swears that it is nothing with demons. He claims that he still wants to test out his new abilities, and this is why he needs the items. Lorien agrees to help, but tells Noah that it is going to cost him money if he wants the items delivered that very day. Noah has no issue with this, and he brings out a bunch of big mana stones, promising to give Lorien once he delivers. That evening Noah received the items he ordered. However, Lorien couldn't get everything on the list, but he got most of it for Noah. Noah thanks the delivery boy, and he starts offloading the items into his place. As he climbs down the stairs, he sees Aurelia sitting with nothing to do. He asks her for help, but she outright ignores him, since she is not ready to give him a hand. After he is done offloading the items, Aurelia finally shows some interest, and she asks Noah what he plans to do with the items. Noah claims that he bought them to test out his abilities, and Aurelia wastes no time asking him how he plans to do that. Noah tells Aurelia to just watch him do his thing, just as Noah is about to start with whatever it is he wants to do. The rabbit in the cage starts to tremble in fear. The rabbit heaves a sigh of relief when it realizes that Noah's attention is not on it. Noah picks a ball and activates his blink skill on it. With this, he figures out that he is able to teleport with objects. In truth, he already knew this, but he just did it to show off in front of her really. However, he now wonders how many items he can bring with him when he teleports.